Welcome back to Adventure Repeats. Glad to see you here. So, what we're going to talk about today is this new recall that came out for the software update. So, if this is your first time here, make sure you like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what else you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content on the channel, so be sure to check it out. So, everybody should have just now gotten a letter in the mail about a software update for these trucks. And it's just generic letter that came out because it doesn't talk about what the software is or anything like that, but it says it needs it. Okay. This update actually showed up on the app back in September. About mid-September, this showed up on there, and in the app itself, it talks more about the update. So what it is, it has to do with the radio system, and if it does an over-the-air update while your truck is shut down and you're not using it or driving it, some people have come back to a battery dead situation. So somehow, some way, the system just drained the battery overnight. So kind of odd, kind of weird. And there's been a few people that have already gotten this recall done just from seeing the app and had it taken care of. The challenge is we've had a lot of feedback from people saying there are issues where the radio wouldn't sound the same. They said it sounded different, things like that, and their CarPlay would disconnect or not connect very well, or just have problems in general. So they were having a lot of problems with the radio system, and I've talked to a few people. They've given me some feedback where they went and got the update done, and then they took it back to the dealership because it just wasn't working right. They were fighting and having issues, and nothing could fix it. And what the dealership was telling them is their solution was to disconnect the batteries for 30 minutes. Just give it a hard reset and reboot. Just let the system reset itself and then try it. And if it fixes itself and works, you're good to go. And if it doesn't, the next step is just to replace the radio itself. And that seems kind of odd and ridiculous because it was working before and then it didn't. So I'm not 100% sure if it's a software issue or if it's because it didn't get reset. So far, I've not heard anything that the reset didn't help it or work, because sometimes you just do need to reset. If you do software updates on different computer systems, things like that, it does want to do a shutdown and reboot. So if the dealership didn't do that because they were pushing for time, because, you know, recalls get paid X amount of dollars, you want to get that thing in and out. So sometimes that step may be getting skipped, and I can understand that. So that's what this recall is talking about. And the letter doesn't talk about which specific system it is, but the app does. So just as a heads up, this recall is out there, and some people have just avoided getting this recall altogether because this was causing problems for them. They weren't sure if this was the right solution. I just want to make sure there was awareness out there for this. And if you did end up getting the recall and you're having these issues, that's what you should do to try to start solving the problem and see if that fixes it. And I'm curious if anybody else has got this recall, had these issues, if it's just a few here or there in between ones, or if you actually were able to get it solved by the dealership and it's now working again. So I'm curious to help everybody out for posterity. So I really am curious for feedback. If you can let me know. Other than that, make sure you like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content on the channel, so be sure to check it out. And remember to have a great adventure.